So you're thinking about moving to Florida, and you're in fact specifically looking at Palm Beach, Florida, and you're not really sure where to live in Palm Beach, Florida. If that's the case, this is a video for you. My name is Ray Fernandez. I'm with Living in Palm Beach, Florida, powered by eXp Luxury. Welcome. 18 years ago, my family and I relocated to this beautiful part of the world we call Florida, and we haven't looked back. Today, we truly find honor to help people, perhaps like you, do the exact same thing. If you're considering relocating to Florida, it's a big deal. I know we've done it. My family and I have done it. We looked all over Florida before considering where to move. Tell you a little bit more about my story, but 18 years ago, we relocated this beautiful part of the world we call sunny South Florida and haven't looked back. Every time, almost every video, I say exactly that. I know it's a big deal. I do not take this lightly. We help families that are thinking about relocating to this area, know what's involved and where are good places, what are not good places. If you move to the wrong area, it is a mistake, and we do not want you making a mistake when moving to Florida. For a lot of this video, I'm going to use the map. When we moved down here 18 years ago, I would have loved to watch a video like this to know what was what. I think the map is helpful. That's the feedback that I'm getting. Guys that have been onto this video before, leave a comment down below. Love to know what you think. But let's go to the map and start looking at Palm Beach, Florida. So here is a map of Palm Beach. Palm Beach is literally half of Tequesta, really Jupiter, to Boca Raton. Let's zoom out, and I'll give you the bigger area. So I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Pensacola to, let's say, West Palm Beach, the center of Palm Beach, is about a 9-hour ride if you go by car. It is a big, big state. When we started looking ourselves a long time ago, we looked all over these places. I'll give you some ideas of some places that we did look at to consider. We were thinking about Tampa. Tampa's a nice area. We were actually close to buying a place there. My parents had a place in Clearwater, Florida. It's a big area. Tampa is a big city, and there's a lot of sub areas. We looked at a place called Tarpon Springs. It's a great area. Listen, we help people relocate even to not just Southeast Florida, but to other places. I have relocation agents across the state. If you're looking at these places and you want some help, reach out. We would love to help you. We looked also at the Orlando area, which is nice. A lot of people, like the retirees, look at the Villages. The Villages is something that started decades ago that's very popular for over 55 crowd. I'm zooming out a little bit. We looked at Vero Beach down here. Vero Beach is very different now than when we looked. We felt it was very sleepy back then. All along here is really nice. This is definitely less expensive. We get a lot of people that look in our area and say, I'm going to go over to the Cape Coral area to see what's over there. And sometimes they do actually choose to move there. And the reason primarily is price. It's less expensive to live in the Fort Myers, Cape Coral area. We've got a great agent up in Sarasota. Those areas are beautiful up there. This is a really popular area. My Sarasota agent can help us with this area. Lakewood Ranch is it's a monstrous master plan community that takes up 2 counties. So I don't want to go too much into all this stuff, but I want to go to Palm Beach. But I want to highlight a few other places. Naples is the land of retirees. I have an agent out there too that people go there to retire. It's definitely the demographic is older than what we had experienced here in Southeast Florida. Northern Florida, there's a big difference between Northern Florida, let's say Jacksonville, St. Augustine, than South Florida. They're not really tropical. Living in Jacksonville and St. Augustine is probably more similar living in Georgia than it is to Florida, where we are in South Florida. Down here, we're getting a lot of people actually moving from the Miami-Dade and the Fort Lauderdale area to Broward County area and the Keys, which is a great place to visit. but the people who live in the Keys, generally speaking, get bored there pretty easily, pretty early after a year. They're like, what is there to do? It is even if you live in like Marathon or Isla Mirada or Key Largo, if you don't want to go anywhere, you have to drive to Miami. And so you feel sort of isolated. So we're getting a lot of people. We find a lot of people relocating from the southern Miami area, the Broward County area, up to Palm Beach. And there's good reason. Palm Beach is probably today one of the most popular places in the country for people to move to. So if you're thinking about moving to this area and you want help, you want to ask questions, and you want to get answers from people who've actually done it before, well, there's a few ways to get a hold of us. Down below is our email address. That's one great way. Also on the screen, you see our phone number. You can either call or text that number, but literally two of the best ways is in the description and the comment section. There's a link. Click on that link. What that'll do is that's have some time for us to speak, either through a phone call or through a Zoom, whatever way you feel most comfortable. In any case, we have your back when it comes to relocating here to sunny South Florida or anywhere in Florida. All right, back to the map. When we moved down 18 years ago, when we considered moving to Palm Beach, we actually were gun-ho on Boca Raton. One thing, if you're considering this area, one thing you want to know, and you're not familiar with the area especially, Boca Raton, the southern part of Palm Beach, I'm going to zoom out. This area is so much different than the northern part of Palm Beach, like Palm Beach Gardens. I want to also, at the end of this video, stick around if you want to know specific communities you should consider. We're going to go through some of that stuff a little bit later. But there are basically 3 master plan communities that people are moving to more often than not just in Palm Beach, but in South Florida, that we see probably 80% of the people moving to. I'd love to help you if that's you. And there's a couple reasons for that. If you are thinking about moving to like down here in the Broward County area, Fort Lauderdale, like a lot of these people are moving up here now. Coral Springs, Parkland, Plantation, Davie. A lot of those people are moving up here to Palm Beach. It's really crowded down there, and they're like they can't handle it. It's also more expensive. There's a couple of good places that are new construction wise. Most people that move here buy new construction. We have a terrific new construction only website. I don't say this often enough. We are a new home co-broker. So that's what we do a lot. We know the builders like really, really well. And I know them all, and I can guide you. I know the pros and cons of each of them. But in Broward County, there's only like 2 or 3 new construction communities that are really worth considering. Reach out to our team if you'd love to know. Reach out by email or text, and send me your email address. I'll send you a website to only new construction to look in our area. It's extremely helpful. All the builders contribute to this website. And if you want to look at and scour, you can go by town, by budget, and all that kind of stuff. It's a great way if you're thinking about moving down here to South Florida. So starting with the southern part of, because this is where we looked. We looked in Boca. When we originally from New York, we moved here from Glen Cove, Long Island. I lived everywhere in New York. I lived in the Bronx, Westchester, Long Island, Manhattan for a long time. So I know what's involved up there. Basically, and a lot of people up there, in whether it's New York, Massachusetts, New Jersey, anywhere up there, everyone seems to know Boca Raton. It is a magnet for people from the Northeast. Boca Raton is where we thought we were going to live before we took a drive down here from New York, and we ended up driving back, and we stopped at a different place in central Palm Beach County, and we felt that we can get more bang for the buck, more home for the money, and it still holds true today. Boca Raton is sort of divided into 3 parts. You have the downtown area. You have like Meisner. There's a lot of stuff to do down there. It's really nice. The Meisner, they have concerts there. There's a lot going on. It's crowded though. The parking is very difficult. It's not one of those places. If you live there, it's obviously you can just walk around, but it's difficult. But Boca, I'd like to say, is divided into 3 places. That's the downtown part. The mid Boca part is here. It's centered around one of the nicest malls in the area, not the nicest. More on that later. It's around the Boca Town Center Mall. Really high-end stuff. Everything from a commerce perspective is centered around here. Lots of great high-end, stores in the town center. Now, this map is a little bit older, so you can't see it all. The western part of Boca, they call it West Boca, go figure. If you go this way, all the way west, this is the 441 State Road 7. It's the best road to go north and south in Palm Beach on the south, basically throughout the whole county. But over here is Western Boca, a lot more residential. You could see they go all the way west, literally right into the Everglades. I mean, there's like, you want to live near alligators? This is the place. There's a nice golf course, as you can see here. There's the Osprey Golf Course, which is really nice. A lot of small communities. This place built out about 15, 20 years ago now. This area here is it's called Uptown. They call it Uptown Boca now. It's not even showing here because it's so new. Lots of new stores, lots of commerce. If you want a place that's growing fast, this is it. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this right now. One of the best new construction communities in all of Palm Beach is Lotus. It's actually a couple of Lotus. They start with Lotus. It's sort of the Delray, Boca Raton area. They started with Lotus. They went on to Lotus Palm. Lotus Palm is the only community where their entrance is off the main road through Boca, which is Glades Road. Beautiful community, and they're showing now their newest community. The newest community is called Lotus Edge. So I said, I don't know if it's Boca Palm, whatever, but it's Lotus Palm, which is off Glades, and then it's Lotus Edge. Lotus Edge they're showing it. There's no sales center there yet. There will be soon, but they're showing it from Lotus Palm. We've taken lots of people there. If you want a really urban type, like Palm Beach is 40 miles north to south. I say this all the time. North is very different than south. If you want a more urban, like a lot of stuff going on, Boca Raton is going to be more suitable for you. I've gotten people here that have moved from like really busy areas that want to stay. Like I had one recently from San Francisco that moved here and they thought even Boca wasn't busy enough. Those are what I call Miami buyers because Miami is very different than here. But Palm Beach is really like a big suburb. But if you want something really busy in Palm Beach, the nicest place your place is going to be probably Boca Raton. It's going to cost you more money. Lotus Edge, every time Geo Homes is the builder, every time they build a new community down there, they go crazy with the amenities. The amenities at Lotus Edge are better than Lotus Palm, which are better than Lotus. The HOA, the homeowners association fee keeps going up, but the amenities are significantly more elaborate. They have on premises and at the clubhouse restaurants, and they make it so that you feel like you're living in a resort literally all day long. All right, enough on Lotus. If you want to know more about Lotus, listen, don't walk into these new construction communities on your own. That would be a mistake. I'll tell you more about that later. You really want independent representation. I get calls from people that walk into these places on their own, not being represented. They call me later, and it's a huge mistake. It's one that you can't correct later. So more on that later. Let's go back to the map. All right, so we're here. This is one of the older ones. I'll sort here for a second here. Boca West is in here. This is an older community that was built out like there you go, Boca West Country Club. Been around for decades now. Lots of membership communities here, like Woodfield. Membership communities have significant initiation fees to get in. They're more like golf club communities. St. Andrews, another one. There's a lot of them here, and Boca has a lot of them. There's less of them up north, but we don't find as many people buying into the membership community. There's a great one up in Port St. Lucie where a lot of people are moving, called Tesoro Club, and they make it very affordable. And I see people looking there for that reason. You don't have to, and you don't have to join the membership, the golf community, which makes a big difference to people. Anyways, so we're going to get away from Boca and go north to Delray Beach. I want to go here because this is, even if you live in other parts of Palm Beach, you're going to find yourself going to Delray Beach. I have to talk to you one-on-one here for Delray Beach. I love Delray Beach. From the southern part I didn't really look here. When I was looking 18 years ago, we didn't really look there. I sort of regret it because I might have considered it. There are some great places and some not so great places in Delray Beach. So you really need to work with a realtor if you're looking to come down here and consider these things, because you don't want to be in a bad area. You don't want to be in an area that you're not comfortable with, that you regret. And I get that sometimes from people. Not they use us, because I try to keep you guys informed. But people who just move here on their own, they make a mistake and they're like, I didn't realize this and that. I could help enlighten you and show and explain some of that stuff. But Delray Beach, the nicest beach in my opinion, in the southern part of the county. Sorry, you Boca Raton fans. That's definitely in my opinion. It's my opinion, but I think there's a strong case to be made for that. I like to watch the sunrises from Delray Beach. They're beautiful. Very active beach. Atlantic Avenue is the avenue that goes east to west. It's the main road through Delray Beach. If you hear people say, yeah, well, I'll meet you on the avenue, they mean Atlantic Avenue. Lots of restaurants, lots of good stuff. There is lots of new construction west of Delray Beach. I mentioned Lotus. Some of that stuff is in Delray Beach. Boca Bridges, high-end community. Even though it says Boca, it technically is borderline, if not in Delray Beach. There's a lot of other stuff out that way. 55 plus, one of the best 55 plus communities is Valencia Grand. That's out that way. It's almost sold out. If you're looking at 55 plus, that's high end. It costs you more, but it is darn worth it. The amenities there are killer. Let's go back to the map. Problem I find with these videos is that I can just keep going on and on and on, and I can take too long. I don't want to be to go elaborate too much, but I want to go to northern Palm Beach. Because the new construction communities that we see most people moving to. If you're looking at this here, you got to watch that. You owe it to yourself to watch the end of this with where we see people looking, and it's not in these areas. Lotus is one of the areas where if you have the money, the budget to buy there is about $1.5 million. I need to say prices sometimes, I forget. It's about $1.5 million. You can get in Valencia Grand. I mentioned that, the 55 plus, for about 1.2. There are the older Valencias in that area that you can get in for a little bit less, but it's more money to live in the southern part of Palm Beach than it is the northern part. I want to get to the northern part because we are seeing more people moving to the northern part, like north of West Palm Beach. So let me start moving up that way. Boynton Beach. Boynton Beach, we're going Delray, we're going more north. Boynton Beach, Brittany Breezes is interesting. It's a trailer park, trailer homes park that these people have held out to like construction. Developers have tried to buy this land, let me just see if I can get in there. And they just held in there. And you could see it's prime real estate. These are all trailer homes on the ocean. And it's probably the most expensive trailer homes in the whole country, maybe in the whole world. But these people, I give them credit for hanging tough with that. So that's in sort of Boynton. Boynton Beach, there's a big difference between, here we go. There's a big difference between living in Eastern Boynton Beach and Western Boynton Beach. Eastern Boynton Beach is a lot older. When I say older, I don't mean people's age. I mean, more developed. It is a lot. The Boynton Beach Mall is not the most popular mall in Palm Beach. I don't want to say anything too bad about it, but it's not one of the highlights. But there's shopping in there. There's a lot of shopping in general in this area in Boynton. But more often than not, if people are looking at here's another membership community, Aberdeen. Again, people don't. One of the things about a membership community, sometimes, not all of them, they don't hold their value because people don't want to buy into the membership community, and you have a limited audience to resell If you want to know more about that, reach out to our team. So you got to be careful about market value when you buy these things. Having said that, there are some I would definitely buy, but you got to be very careful, and that's why you need a realtor to help you with these things. Boynton Beach, there's an area called the Canyons. You're looking at this part here. It's very far west. Venetian Isles, they just really did their clubhouse. Beautiful community, 15 years old roughly. A lot of Valencias around here, Western Boynton. Here's the Canyons. There's a ton. Sun Valley is really Boynton Beach Boulevard. It's actually Route 804. It's really Boynton Beach Boulevard. If you tell people, I'm looking to go east on Route 804, people have no idea what you're talking about around here. It's Boynton Beach Boulevard. There's lots of different canyons in here. The Canyon Lakes, canyons this, canyons that. A GL community from way back when. A lot of good so Boynton Beach, there's a lot of good Western new construction communities, newer construction communities. The middle part of Boynton Beach is golf, as you can see here. A lot of golf communities. We have some good communities here, like the Enclave at Sherwood Park is really good there. It's a Pulte Home community. Pulte Homes came in and bought out the golf course and put a community. So there's a lot of interesting stuff in here. Reach out to our team. We'd love to go into some of this stuff. I could send you not just new construction, but we can set up an MLS search if you're looking, if you're a little of a limited budget, we could help budget, work it with a budget. So, but reach out, we can help you with this stuff. So let's go north. I have to go to this area. Lake Worth is, where are you, Lake Worth? Lake Worth, and again, like Boynton, Eastern Lake Worth and Western Lake Worth are very, very different. This is older part, and there's some places, if you were to Google crime statistics, Lake Worth Beach Park, let me just sort of leave it there. It might not say some nice things. So having said that, this area, downtown Lake Worth, you want to be a little bit careful if you're going to buy in here. All right. Western Lake Worth, there's a lot of new construction coming in. There's one coming in right around here. That east to west, the north to south road I was telling you about, Route 441, State Road 7. Henricks Reserve is coming in right about here. That's going to be one of my big communities next year. Maybe sooner. By the time you see this video, it might be getting ready to open. That's going to be a big community for me because it's near our office and it's a great builder. So more on that. If you reach out to our team, if you want to know more about that, there's a lot of good new construction ideas. Even in Boca, I had to mention this. There's a Toll Brother community that's going in down there, but on the northwestern part of Boca Raton. It's going to be one of their best communities. Stay tuned for that one. I'm coming here because often we get a lot of questions about people, Wellington I'm talking about here now. We get a lot of people who want good schools, and Wellington has a reputation of having terrific schools. And they do. They're all A-rated schools. Panther Run, Polo Park, Wellington High School, whatnot. There's a lot. So I get a lot of people that look just at Wellington. Lake Worth, we covered a little bit. I want to mention this about Wellington. Out here, this is we'll start on some of these master plan communities. This is the oldest master plan community of the three that are really popular now. Arden. We have done a ton of business in Arden. The amenities out there are enormous. They're tremendous. Let me see if I could see. This is still a little bit old. This how do you say this? This map. But if you zoom way in, look at this pool. Beautiful, right? More on Arden. Arden over the years have seen many builders come in and out of there. There's been D.R. Horton, there's Lennar is still there. GL Homes is getting ready to close out as we speak. Kennedy Homes, way back when, before they closed down, they were in there. Kenco, one of the best builders in the area, is in there. Was in there, not anymore. But Arden has bang for your buck in terms of what you get for HOA fee, you can't beat. It's less than $300, and you get that. See that pool? There's more to it than that. There's a fitness area. You get a working farm. You get to pick up fruits and vegetables each month for your home as part of your HOA. When it comes to events, there's not a better community than Arden. One of the drawbacks, we like to do like these pros and cons videos, and the pros and cons. That's the right way. Yeah, that's the right way. Pros and cons video of Arden. That's one of our more popular videos. And people have said to me when I go through Arden, they recognize me. They like, people like these pros and cons videos. So there we talk about it. And one of the cons when it comes to moving to Arden is that it's a little bit far west. So how far west is far? Well, to get to the beach, it'll take you about a half hour. As things are developing in the western part of the county, it will fill in. There's 2,350 homes in Arden, and because of that, the HOA fee is lower, and that's why you get to do all these things. One of the nicest streets in Arden is Hook Line Circle, and you can get a nice big piece of property in some of these properties, and it's on one of the largest lakes. That lake happens to be Man Lake. There's two big lakes in Arden. One of them is a natural lake, which you don't get too many that large, like the size of that one. But the sunsets, looking at the sunsets from Arden, I've been there like late on the day showing homes, and they're absolutely beautiful. Red sky because there's nothing blocking it from the west. So anyways, if you want to know more about Arden, reach out. It's we do a lot of business there. It's one of our favorite communities. Now, let me go back to the map and I'll show you more of the other stuff. I'll start talking a little bit more about two of the other communities that we see a lot of people moving to these days. All right, so here's Arden. We get a lot of people who, over the years, that want to look at Arden and this other second really popular area. And for a while, it was number one. It was our number one area. It was Westlake. It slowed down a little bit. It's picking back up again. They have some really affordable townhomes. We don't do a lot of townhomes. We're EXP luxury. We do a lot of high-end stuff. So we don't do a lot of the townhouses. The townhouses are about 400,000. Most of the stuff we do are in the luxury end, 500,000 to $1 million and up. But that's what you get in Westlake, is why I use those numbers. If you go to Avenir, which is our next one we'll talk about, you're looking at $1 million. But Westlake is about 4,000 homes. It's a big part of it is about 900 homes are in Crestwind, which is one of the best 55 plus communities in the area. Very affordable for a 55 plus. The HOA fee is only $350. Some people might say $350, that's a lot. But I got to tell you this, I got to brace you for this. If you're considering a 55 plus community, you have to expect to pay more money in terms of the HOA fee, because they have more facilities, there's more amenities in general with HOA with 55 plus. But 4,000, about 900 is 800 and change is in Crestwind. There's a lot of sub communities in Westlake. There's the hammocks, there's the meadows, there's the orchards. We're selling out of the Pines right now, and then there's there was the estate, which is a big. Let me tell you a little bit more about Westlake. Going back about a year ago, I met the mayor, and he was saying that about 1/3 of all new permits in Palm Beach came from Westlake. That's how crazy it was. Back in the pandemic days, after the pandemic, 2021, you couldn't just go in there and buy a house in Westlake. There was a wait list. And there was like these crazy auctions that you had to be on a computer at a certain time, and you're typing in feverishly to get in. And people were like frustrated because they couldn't buy a home. I don't blame them. So they had to wait each release. They would manage their releases because demand was so high. They didn't just jack up prices like hundreds of thousands of dollars to basically, get people to drop out so they can meet the demand. They actually let people buy homes at the lower prices, even though demand was high and growing. But that's not the case anymore. It is still hard in some cases to get into Westlake. I can help you. If we're looking at homes, if you're calling me and we're looking at homes and we want to look at Arden, Westlake, this, that, I'm lots of times going to start with Westlake, and the reason is because because it's the hardest place, one of the hardest places still to get an appointment, and I will help you get an appointment with the best consultant in all these communities, whether it's Westlake, Arden, especially Arden is you want to be careful there, and and Avenir. There's all you want to work with the best consultant, the one that's going to work hard for you. We want them to work hard for you. This is what we do. Let's go into independent representation right now. If you walk into one of these sales centers on your own, again, I also said before, you're crazy. With us, we are living in Palm Beach, Florida. We are a new home call broker, and we would love to help you. It's independent representation. The cost to you out of pocket is zero. There's nothing out of your pocket. It's the builder who pays us. They're happy to do so. The builder actually gives me homes to list on their behalf. A couple of the builders do that. So we do a lot of new construction because that's what you guys as relocation people are looking at. We have to be there on your first visit, which is why I say if you walk in on your own, in order for us to help you, we have to be there on your first visit. If you've gone there and then call me 2 weeks later and say, Ray, I was looking at Westlake, I want you to help me, I can't. They will not allow me. In a couple of cases, if it's the next day, I might be able to. It's usually not the case, but it depends on the builder. But each builder has their own set of rules. But as a rule, we need to be there on your first visit, and we'll be there for the whole transaction. We have a transaction coordinating team that helps keep the builders accountable. We are unbiased. So if there are homes in the community, they're trying to sell you existing homes that are just recently closed for sale, they're not going to tell you at the builders. We will. We have no bias in this regard. If that community is not a good community for you, like we think there might be a better fit to consider another community, we're going to tell you. We are not held accountable to any of these builders. We're not captive, as the word I'm looking for, to any of these builders. These guys are captive to where they work. So we want to help you make sure that you're aware of everything that's out there when it comes to buying a home here in Florida. Man, 18 years ago, I wish I had help like this because it really would, I'm going into all this nitty gritty communities that you want to know. If you're looking at this area, you want to know this. If you're looking at other areas, we can help you do the same thing with other agents on our team in other places around the state. Please, we'd love to help you there. We could do that, and people sometimes don't understand that. That's one of the sales centers. Again, you don't walk in there on your own. So. Adventure Park, the amenities here are really nice. Just like Arden, they're really nice. One of the reasons people move to Westlake is because the HOA is really low relative to the rest of the area, and because it's spread over 4,000 homes, they're able to do it. Now let's move north. So we're looking at some of the nicest areas, in my opinion, in all of the county. Let's start from the very north. Tequesta is absolutely beautiful. Small town, half in Martin County, half in Palm Beach County. Not a lot of new construction there. I would love to when they do get one up there, I'm going to be all over it. Beautiful place. Jupiter. One of the most expensive parts of Palm Beach County, Jupiter Island, is ridiculous. I love that the beaches up here. These are the two nicest beaches, in my opinion. Juno Beach and Jupiter Beach. See if I can figure out the pier. You can see the Juno Beach pier here. I've done videos from there. I did a video called Moving to Juno Beach recently. I've done many videos on Juno Beach. One of the nicest beaches in Palm Beach. If you go a little bit further north, you're going to have Jupiter Beach. Again, another great beach. These are the nicest beaches. And what's great about this is they don't have to pay for parking, and it's easy to park. I love it. If you move to, and I'm going to do a video coming up on this. I've done it before. The pros and cons of moving to Palm Beach Gardens. If you're moving to Palm Beach Gardens, you are going to use those beaches. Where are you? Gardens Mall. One of the nicest malls, I am told by some people, the nicest mall in Florida. It's definitely the nicest mall, in my opinion, in the area. It is very high end, like the Boca Town Center Mall we talked about earlier. Very high end. So people moving to this area, There's one really excellent master plan community. It is our most popular in the last year, the number one community people are moving to. And it's similar to Westlake. There's several sub communities, and it's about the same size. 3,000. The plan right now is 3,950 homes, and it's called Avenir. I'll show Avenir in a map in a second. It's way west in Palm Beach Gardens. We were starting to work this community about 4 years ago. The people who got in have been made rich, pretty much. They got in early, and it's still in the early stages. Apex is one of the communities, sub communities in there that just opened and sold. They sold 180 homes in like that. It's going to be 500 and change. I forget the exact number, 536. Another video coming out. I've done many videos on Apex already. Boom, boom, boom. And we're going to have another one coming out because they just opened the model center recently. I just listed a house in there, actually, about a $2 million house. In general, in Avenir, you're going to need $1 million. You can need about $1 million today. There's another community that's really good called Avondale, where you could get, and I'll show you these things on a map, where you can get in there less than $1 million. You can probably today get into Avondale at about 800,000, maybe the upper sevens. But just be careful, because if you have a limited budget, if you want to get in, it'll say 700. Don't go to the websites and register. That's a mistake. They'll automatically assign you to the consultant, and you don't want that. Let me help register you. You can look around the website, but don't go directly. Don't register on it. If you look on Avondale, you'll see it says starting at 700. But realistically speaking, you need to buy. It doesn't include the land. It doesn't include upgrades. Realistically, you're going to need more money. And we here in living in Palm Beach, we live in Realville, and we want to be realistic when it comes to what's involved when it comes to moving here to Palm Beach and to moving to Florida. This is, people ask me what's a good investment, this I think is a really good investment. There's still things that people down in other parts of the county don't even know about Avenir yet. There's Coconut Boulevard is not opened up to North Lake. I'll show you this on a map in a minute, and not opened up north. When it opens up north, it's going to be easier access to downtown Gardens. And let's go to the map, and I'll show you a little bit more about what I'm referring to. So here we are in Palm Beach Gardens. There's a lot here. The Gardens Mall I mentioned, just next to it is downtown at the Gardens. Shopping here is just incredible. Whole Foods, very popular. They got a Trader Joe's. I know you guys love Trader Joe's there. They have Palm Beach PGA Commons is right about here. And there's like the Cooper is a good restaurant there. I like that place a lot. Across the way is called Midtown. So there's a lot of stuff here. So if you live in Avenir, you're going to, right now, the main road is here. The southern part of Palm Beach Gardens is called the North Lake. And you're going to take this all the way here until you get here to Avenir. So as you can see, here's Avenir, and there's not a lot here yet. They will build some of this, but one of the attractions about Avenir is that it is 5,000 acres, and only 2,500 of it is built on. So there's lots of preserved. If you want a place with lots of terrific walking trails, this is it. There's some really, all in here is all preserved. They can't touch it. As Avondale, I talked about that a minute ago. Great way to get into those walking trails. Panther National is a story onto his own. I'm going to be there, going there in a few days with a client. It's $5 million to $15 million homes. This is why this area is going to be, I'll tell you more about that in a second, but that's one of the reasons why this whole area is going to hold its value, in my opinion, really well. North Palm Beach County, this is not a major airport. This is a smaller airport that if you live and you have money and you live in Panther National, you buy your $10 million house, you can have a jet here, and you could, you can fly to Key West. You can fly to the Hamptons. That's what people do. So that's one of the reasons that they have a infrastructure for high-end people. And so that's what's going to help this community. Coconut Boulevard is right here. Let me see here. There you go. They are, see, let me give you the entrance first. The entrance to Avenir is here. These Gothic fountains. And this is Avenir Drive. This is where it all started. They are duplicating this and putting it over here, over by Coconut. If you go there now, they have the two towers up. This is not, right now closed to Northlake. It will be open shortly. But the real story here is that as you go, this is Apex I was telling you about before. Hey, look, they got the sign up. That's the new entrance. It looks about right. Just literally went in. This is closed out. This is like you can't get through here. In time, this is going to open up to Beeline Highway, which is this thing going diagonal. And that's going to be your easy way to PGA Boulevard, the main road, into Palm Beach Gardens. And that's going to be the best way in. And once that opens, the story's out. And this is your opportunity to get in at good prices here. If you're a golfer, there is not a better place in the area. So it's very golf cart friendly. Sand Hill Crane is a public course. And you can take your golf cart from your house to Sand Hill Crane. And they've got the dancing, what do they call it? The Dancing Crane, I think it's called. There's a great restaurant on premises here at Sand Hill Crane. They've got a new part 3 up here. This is just being built out up here. So they've got a lot of good stuff. The communities that have already been sold out are Wingate. Where are you? Here we go. Now, I was telling people these are not labeled right. You need someone like us to help you with this. This is actually not Wingate. Wingate's more north. This is Watermark. Wingate is up further. This area here, Latieri, is completely sold out. If you're looking for 55 plus in Avenir, here's a good one. It's Regency. It's a Toll Brother community. There's another great another 55 plus community coming up real soon. One of my favorite builders. Reach out to our team. I'd love to tell you about that. It hasn't opened yet, but again, I speak to all the builders. As again, we are a new home code broker, and we know what's going on before it does and before the public knows. But anyways, I want to just go really quickly into here. This is they already have it on a map. This is an old age community that's opening up by Coulter. That's going to share the new clubhouse with Apex at Avenir. Let me go into that a little bit. So today we see that these are some of the best. These are some of the most common new construction communities. Listen, there's a lot here, and I can speak about this for all day, pretty much, between Boca, Palm Beach Gardens, Jupiter. Jupiter is a great new construction community called Bridgewater. Bridgewater is by Devasta, high-end, big pieces of property. You can get a home there for $6 million. You can get a home there for 5 acres. It's incredible stuff. But I'm really just like touching the surface here when it comes to any of these things. We have the best beaches in the world. I mean, in my opinion, definitely on the East Coast of the United States is some of the best beaches. The Hamptons are good too. I used to live in the Hamptons. There are some beautiful beaches out in East Hampton and Amagansett and all those great areas. Jersey Shore is known for, they're a little bit more commercialized there, I feel. But some of the best beaches are right here in Florida. The schools, I have 3 kids that have gone through the schools. I get questions about that all the time. I can give you some guidance on that. If you're thinking about moving to this area, I highly suggest, especially looking at new construction, I highly suggest independent representation. Here at Living in Palm Beach, it's what we do. We want to help people like you avoid mistakes. I run into people who haven't used us later, that they've just moved here, and they feel like would have done this had I known that. And that's why we're here to help. Set up a Zoom, as I mentioned earlier, set up a call. I'd love to give you, even if it's just a conversation. I'm not high pressure. Trust me when I say this, we are plenty busy. We'd love to help you to investigate whether Florida is right for you. Boca Raton, Jupiter, Palm Beach Gardens, Avenir, paradise here in South Florida.